what I'm going to do now is put up a brand new, for the first time brand new, never put it up before, Summit Alto 2 Plus. And the Plus version has less mesh and more solid sides. That makes it a little bit more applicable towards 3+ seasons. So not quite winter seasons, but sort of edging towards the end of autumn, potentially the beginning of winter, probably below mountaintop height, which is where I am roughly. I'm not above tree level here, but I'm in a bit of a secluded area. However, the wind is coming from this direction, which is west, going that way, which is east. So that will give me an idea which way I need to pitch the tent, because again, like the MSR Hubba Hubba, it's a high-sided tent, so you have to be careful about which way you're going to pitch it into the wind. So let's have a bash. All of the poles come in here, and this is what's known as a light pod thing, which apparently means you can sling it up inside the tent, put a light through it, and you will be able to sort of shine the light down. Put a torch inside, you'll be able to shine it down. Not quite sure how useful that would be, because to take the torch out, you pretty much need to put your hand inside or unclip it, but we'll see. I also have an extra set of tent pegs with me, so I'm definitely going to think about taking them out just in case. Now this tent actually comes in two parts, and these parts clip together with the clips on this side, so you can see the clip, and it just tags in like that, so you can carry it. That's how it comes. However, it's very easy to split up, and as you can see, it easily fits in an Osprey Exos 48. This one went in completely sideways, this one went in as well. Not really sure which is the inner, which is the outer here. That's going to be interesting as well, and it doesn't quite tell you on the side either, so let's just open it up and have a look. So obviously the inner. Now this tent can pitch several different ways. Inner first, outer first, then inner, or only outer, and there's a few other different combinations, etc. When I get back home to an easier place to play with this, I'll do an updated video showing you the different variations of this. So for the minute, this is going back in the sack. Comes with some pegs, which is always a handy thing. On the side here, there's a little Velcro pouch. Let's have a look inside that. God. That is really tight to get into there, really tight. I would probably take these are spare guidelines by the looks of them, very thin. Not sure what material the guys are made of, but they look like 1.5 mil. So one, it's definitely 2+ in there, but very, very tight to get out. Bit of a con, that, for me. Oh, there's two different types. There's four guidelines here. So 2 darker ones and 2 brighter ones, both about the same. So maybe it's 1.5 mil. Easy plastic locks. I hope they are spare rather than needed to be added on. That is an absolute pain to get in and out of as well, so they're going in the pocket. Tent peg wise, let's have a look. We get repair kit, always a good option. Just put the repair kit back inside there. First time I've seen a pole repair kit inside, and apparently Summit have worked with DAC, the pole people, to make these poles extremely light, extremely strong. So that's good. And really nice V-shaped with small Y-shaped pegs with a serrated edge on there. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So hopefully there's 8, 10 pegs for the tent plus 1 spare. Just going to put those in there for the moment. Keep 2 out, or possibly 3, 4 out. Right. This is about the flattest piece of ground I can find, so I'm going to try it there. As per the MSR Hubba Hubba, I'm just going to make sure that the ends are out for the first time. This is not colour coded either, so I think the hang on. All right, so it looks like there's two poles going at one end, one in the other with the articulated ones. So maybe I'll only need 3 poles, and I'm going to go for the 2 poles into the wind. Let's just have a look. There we go. As I said, I've never done this before. So I'm hoping I've got just enough space to put it up. Ah yes, it is colour coded. So this is a slightly different grey colour than the ones at the other end. Makes me feel a little bit easier. Let's just give myself a little bit of extra loop there. These are quite stiff. There we go. Over to the poles. These are all connected. Oh. And I don't know whether you'll be able to see on the video, it's actually pre-shaped. That's good. So far, not bad. The wind, I'll get the anemometer out at the end, but the wind is maybe 5 miles an hour. 6, 7 miles an hour perhaps, so not too bad. So you can see it is quite high. It looks higher than the MSR Hubba Hubba, so not bad. These go that way, which gives it a little bit more slab-sidedness, hence a little bit unwieldy in high winds when it's face on like that. So potentially extra guy ropes for these, don't know. Clips up really easily by the looks of it. Not quite sure how. Aha, got you. So the centre one, there we go, that's good. So far this is going up pretty bloody easy. That's tight, that is very tight. Okay, and right on the edge here, there's some hooks. There we go. So it's the same on the other side, and as I said, these poles have to be upwards. Oh, that's a tight stretch. There we go. Looks a little bit lopsided at the minute. I think we need to sort of get it pegged out and it will look a little bit better. Okay, so that seemed to work okay with regards to putting the outer up. Let's go with the inner. Now, you can purchase the ground sheet extra, and I think it's £55. However, I purchased this from Cotswold Camping and it came with a completely free ground sheet. However, they need to order that and get it sent to you. So one of the reasons why I'm not going up mountains tonight is so I can get back down to Betsy Coed to the post office. Last thing, the post office has 2 deliveries, so hopefully I'll be able to get it from Betsy Coed post office tomorrow. So £55, worth it. What I will do though is put the Tyvek ground sheet that I've got for the hubba underneath it once I put this tent up. So bag in the pocket again. Now what I'm looking for is some kind of colour-coded system perhaps, so I can figure out which end goes where. Right, if I remember, this is one of the lighter ends, lighter greys. So I need to find another light grey end. There we go. So just as a tip, when you're putting fly sheets up like this, turn them inside out and put them down. Now again, I'll do a little bit more detail when I put these up, but these slide over and then lock in. So they don't go on the actual poles themselves. Slide over and just a little twist and then they'll lock in. Or they should lock in. That one has just come out. Here we go. A little bit old-fashioned here. There's looks like a bit of Velcro just to keep the fly sheet on. That's very old-fashioned with regards to tent manufacturer. Don't know whether to be disappointed about that or not, because that will be really fiddly in higher winds when it's piddling down. So the wind is coming from behind me and I let the wind take it. And there we go. And again, a little bit more detail later, but there's a sock, rubberized sock there to go over. Going to put the other end on. This is going to be quite tight. There we go, rubberized sock on that end. And there we are. So that's the main ground sheet up. And those guy ropes, I need to put them on myself. That's a bit of a pain when you're setting the tent up first thing. So not happy about that, that's another con. Just put that there. Right, let's get some pegs out first though. And I'm assuming that will go there. Again, big assumption on my part. Another one round the corner. Right, now I need to figure out where to put the guy lines. So I've got 4 guy lines, and looking at this, I've potentially got 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, interesting. So again, that's a little bit of a con for me. Now I do have spare guys knocking about, so I'll put those up. But to get 4 guys and potentially 7 points, guy out points, and I'm not quite sure which colours are supposed to go where. So all I'm doing is just trying to look for the colours. Doesn't help. And the wind has changed direction. Instead of coming this way, it's now coming more that way. So I might just have to pitch it round a little bit, which is okay, because this is easy enough to pivot. So that's what I'm going to do before I put the guys on. So if I take this out, take that one out, take that one out, that's it, and pivot it there. So that was a bit easier trying to change the direction of the tent. Let's have another guy here. Now these guys, or tie outs, are literally just pieces of cord, so they're not the webbing that perhaps I thought there might be. Same on the other side. There we go. That's much more stable with the way that the wind's coming. But once again, not entirely happy about those guys. So yeah, that's a little bit more stable with the way that the wind's going, but not really happy about having to put the own guys in. Another con. Hopefully there's quite a lot of pros to this one. So I've done a little bit of research online, read the manual, and there's nothing except it's a freestanding tent. So all I've done is pegged it down as it's supposed to be pegged down, tightened it up, etc. There's still a few areas I could probably tighten, but I just want to check these pegs. So the spare guys, I'm not sure whether the spare guys are actually for places like that, but they look completely different. And again, I've got too short. Put the obligatory COVID mask back in the pocket. I've got too short, too long. So again, I'm not 100% sure where these guys are going to go. In my head, I'm glad I brought the spare tent pegs. And what I'm going to do is peg it out in the direction of the prevailing wind to support a little bit more when the wind's hitting it, which is probably going to be on that side. So one over there, and then 2 on the other side as well. Which means I'm very grateful that I actually did bring my spare tent pegs, because 4 guys, 1 spare tent peg doesn't make a good tent, sea to summit. So that's another con. So a little bit of info now. The guys are really easy to put on. They've got this little toggle. Let me just try and get it there. And all it does is hook into the toggle, the guy areas. So potentially these make it very easy to put the guys on and off wherever the prevailing wind is. So I'm hoping that's a bit of a positive for Sea to Summit in this tent so far. Makes it much easier. Extra guys are out, and I've got the little anemometer, and it's giving me 3.8, 3.4, 4.7, so possibly gusts of maybe 5 to 6 miles an hour at the minute, and a temperature of 12.7 degrees, 13 degrees. So I don't know whether that's with a wind chill. That's not too bad from a wind perspective. Just a little bit nervous, new tent, not quite sure what it's supposed to be like. So potential gusts in this area here of maybe 10 miles an hour, which should be well within a tent of this price, this pedigree, pitched the way that I have into the wind, put the extra guys out. So what have we got in the goodie bag today? Right, we've got food, waterproofs, batteries. Let's chuck this on because I've been a bit cold doing some filming. Decathlon down fleece, Decathlon down jacket. Really quite nice. Right, there we go. And this will tie up. Aha! Right. Didn't tell me this. Has some guy out points here. Not quite sure how they're supposed to work like that. That's a little bit tight. There we go. There's probably another one on the other side. Let me come back. Nice one. So again, this is £450. So, not bad. Now with this, I can completely open out both sides. And again, I can do the same on the other side. So what you have cunningly spotted here is a major flaw for UK weather. As soon as I open this, one, it is very flappy, even with the wind that has already come off. Any kind of water that's already on the tent and it's gone. Sea to Summit, absolutely major fail on that one, guys. Not happy with that. This has apparently been designed for the cooler climates, which there must be a way of doing this. I would prefer if these were elastic and they're not. You see, that's just going to come loose again, isn't it? Anyway, what have we got in the bag? Can't be farsing about with them. I've got my really cheap Amazon down jacket, down quilt. This is a 2-person tent, looks a little bit small inside. Thermarest Neo Light, Thermarest Neo Air X-Lite mat. Put that up in a bit. Sea to Summit thermo reactor. Not very good either, guys. Not quite sure why I bought a seat to Summit when I was really disappointed in this. 15 degrees my backside. Right, let's turn this the right way. Put that in. What else have we got in here? Spare pair of socks. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Possibles bag. Spare cooker. My rather excellent Sea to Summit sleeping bag. And my inflatable yokel of Sweden. Nice Swedish accent there. Inflatable pillow. Just chuck that in. What I'm doing is just chucking all of the stuff inside, and then I'll bring the GoPro and show you. See, the door on this side has just come loose again. So, might be an ultralight tent, but I'm now going to have to carry at least 2 tent pegs to tie these back in nice but windy weather. Disappointing for a £450 tent, even if you do get a free, put that in there, even if you do get a free ground sheet with it. There we go. Right, food bag can go in there. Hat, buff and gloves, that can go in. Waterproof trousers and jacket. I tend to keep these on, and if I need to go out at night, I put them on. That can go in there. Destructions, they were shite. Seriously, shit. They can go in there. Cooking system, bottle of Pepsi, water, my spare tent pegs, and there's another tent peg I think knocking about from these guys. I'll find that. I'm going to keep these on hand because I just don't trust their tent pegs. So keep that. I'll figure this out when I'm in. Take the lid off because that's got lots of snacks and stuff. That can go in. And I'll take this out, but I won't put it out yet. I'll sort of finish the review with you guys. Bit of condensation, and then do it. Right. So that's it. Now this, let's just stick the other water out. These, by the way, are platypus 1 litre. Nope. Get the, nope, nope, nope. Thing about mountains is the sound just echoes all over. Last thing, wind guard for the cooker with my spoon. So this rucksack is going to go around the other vestibule, and I'll just chuck that in there. So that's with all my kit in. Let's have a look. Really simple guide locks. Two-way doors, two-way zips on both sides, so that's a complete U. Bit of plastic at that end, elastic, sorry, so that's a bit easier. Hopefully you can see just in that top corner there. Let's just hold there, just up there. That is a real pain to put on. That could have been a much better design. Sea to Summit, just copy what MSR have done. It's a much easier design and probably a little bit safer as well, I'd say. Plenty of ventilation towards the top, because under here we've got a mesh panel, and then we've got 2 very large panels, one on either side, where you can basically get loads of air. So what's supposed to happen is the wind comes along, hits it and comes out of the top, causing loads of ventilation. Now this is the plus, so there's not much mesh on this side, inside, the only meshes there really, so it's going to be a much warmer tent. Should be a 2-man tent. I'm not really convinced it's a 2-man tent. That's a very cosy end there. So this might just be a one-man tent and somebody who is, well, I don't know, 3 foot to fit in that end there, where I've got all of my crap. Because 2 people at this end, never. And I'm a little bit concerned, even if you put two people's heads at that end, their feet are going to be touching there. You turn over, you're a bit of a side sleeper, you're buggered from sleeping in that end. But I'm sitting up and there's a whole lot of headroom that you can see there, whole lot of headroom. Quite pleasant. Right, so there's a tag there for something. There must be some other ones there. That's for the, I'm not really sure what the hell it's for. Oh, that's for the light bar that they've got. Anyway, I'll figure something out about those. What I'm going to do is get the Tyvek ground sheet put in underneath, and I'll come back once everything's set up inside. But I'm not really sure whether or not I can, don't know, because that's like really going to bloody annoy the hell out of me. Flappy thing. Does it? Oh yes, it does. Thank you. There's this little catch there. So, nice. That's good. Let's just move out the way a little bit. Right. So, this is a light bar. And it's what the poles come in as well. So, it's got one there and one at that end. I just need to figure out where it goes. Got pockets at that end, pockets at the other end. So this is obviously where your heads go, and you are going to be very cosy in here with 2 people, really cosy. Although there is lots of space. So the seat to Summit is at that end, and there's a good, what, 12 inches there perhaps, at that end. So yeah, loads of space. I'm going to come back and put this light bar up and see if I can figure out how it goes. Okay, so the first thing you really should do is just have a look and see what the words on the tags mean. See, it says light bar and it says light bar. So that's obviously where the light bar goes. So let me just put that up now. Rest you guys down there. Oh God, awkward again. Really awkward. Bloody hell. This, tell you something, it might be, not quite sure what that sound was. Right, I'm gonna have to turn this off and really concentrate. That's the light bar. That's just taken me about 10 minutes to put up. What a bloody faff. And it is really delicate. I'm actually quite scared to put the torch in there in case it falls off. So what I'll probably do is just sort of hang it torches from some of the clips up here. In fact, a bit of Dyneema cord right the way down there, just to give me something to hang on, and then just leave it at that. But that's really awkward to put on. Freezing cold weather, you need to take your gloves off. What you can see is this great big vent, and then the other part inside the fly sheet. So I'm going to go out and have a faff about and then come back, see if I can figure that bit out as well. So, first impressions. Lots of attachment points. Yeah, that's good. There is absolutely loads of headroom in the tent. So my arm's stretched there, and I should just be at that little place there. What is it? The light bar again. Not convinced that's a decent idea. Wait till I start faffing about putting my torch in there. I think this is a one-man tent. It is not a two-man tent. Do not be fooled by the two in the name. This is definitely a one-man tent, or one-person tent, I should say. I travel very light, and you know, looking at the vestibule area, so I'm a size 10, so that's just at the bathtub, and yeah, you know, it's now touching the top, so not a lot of space. Not really impressed with a ground sheet that's stitched and then taped. The bathtub area should be all in one. Time will tell on how waterproof it is. Comes with a guarantee and all of that kind of thing, so we shall see. Just to give you an idea of the other side, I'll just move the sleeping bags and stuff out of the way. So I've got a little bit more space on this side, and that could be the way that I pitched it. I'm not really sure. Maybe I should put the rucksack on the other side and put the rest of my personal stuff on this side. I don't know. I'll put my boots on this side anyway. Yeah, that might be a better option. It needs sealing up, protect it from the elements if it starts to rain anyway, but that's a much bigger side. So again, although it's designed as a two-person tent, it doesn't quite seem a two-person tent at all. Good points, we've got a U-shaped zip. Oh, bad point, you see some of the edge in there? You see that? Just there? Just notice that. That's not good. Can't really go all the way around with one hand, but a ventilation area there to let more airflow through in warmer weather. That's good. Does the other side have it? Yeah, the other side has it as well. So yeah, that's good. It should be a warmer tent because of all of the material and the lack of mesh. Good morning. So the first night in the Summit Alto 2 Plus. Definitely not a two-man tent. There's just not enough space. The vestibules aren't big enough to put all of your kit, etc. I've got a bit messy in here, just dumping stuff last night. But that's the foot of the bag. The green thing here, this is the light bar. This is an absolute pain in the backside. This is a gadget, a gizmo. It's just, I wouldn't bother. Not at all. If you look to see where my head is now, that's where the light bar starts to connect. As soon as you get up, you're banging your head against it. So that's no good. I didn't take any video of it on last night because the light that I had outperformed the torch that went in, etc. But I've got some photos from my torch, got some photos from my phone to show you. It was just really awkward to put a torch in there to get it to position to get the maximum amount of light, so that's pretty pointless. The tent so far is dry, touching the sides. I can't feel any condensation. I had everything closed up completely. I only had this vent open. That seems a little bit damp there. Yeah, so this is the side that I slept on. This seems a little bit damp. Yeah, this is damp there. That's just, yeah, that's visibly damp to the touch. Yeah, that's damp. That's not. So yeah, this is the side that I slept on. This really is damp. This will need drying out before I put it away. And I can see, I don't know whether you'll be able to see, there's water condensation just on the outside, or on the mesh there as well. Open the door fully, just give us a more. Open the door fully. And that is dry. That looks a bit of ice actually. Yeah, it feels a little bit icy. Yeah, that's ice on the outside. Sort of coming up this way. Yeah, ice on the outside. Wow, I didn't expect that. Not where I am, I'm only at about 250 metres, and I did it deliberately low camp, sheltered spot. So it got pretty low last night. Let me get out and so let me get out. I'm only in my shreddies, so I won't do a full frontal for you, or shreddies in the top. And yeah, let's see. Curious. So good morning. Sun is just starting to rise over there. Well, it's actually up, you just can't see it at the minute. Yeah, there's definitely ice out here. You can see on my rucksack and on the sides there. Right the way along that side of the tent. So yeah, I didn't feel that cold last night, so maybe that inner worked. Yeah, there's ice over on the top as well. This is an interesting one. Let me just come down a little bit. Let me move over. Oh, shivering my tits off. You see these white patches here? That's where the inner is buzzing up against the outer, and that's where it's caught. They seem, yeah, I'm not quite sure. Can I lift it up? Yeah. So it's these bits. These don't seem very tight. So not quite sure what went wrong with me pitching there. Let me just put the bloody phone down, Andrew. It'd be easier, wouldn't it? There we go. So maybe that's a pitching problem with me. First time I've done it. These doors seem very, very much reminiscent of using a Lanshan. Oh God, very, very reminiscent. There we go. I.e. you've got two pegging out points for two doors, that kind of thing. One thing there is missing from this, considering they're touting it as a 3+ season tent, is the rain channel that comes down that the MSR Hubba Hubba has. That would be superb addition. I'm concerned about water hitting and then getting in here for some reason. I put this up into the prevailing wind going this way, thinking that's the way it goes. Yeah, so the prevailing wind was hitting from this side. I'll have to get in touch with Summit and figure out from them, is it the two corners, the archway there, where the wind is supposed to hit, or from the other side? So yeah, it was okay. I did not feel cold inside the tent, and I am shivering now. Let's just come up a little bit. I don't have a drone, so that's the best you're going to get. But I'm just starting to get the light hitting there. That's fabulous, isn't it? I'll see what it packs down as anyway. And I'll video the packing down as well for you guys. I think that's important to do it in the field rather than sticking it into a back garden somewhere or sticking it into a field and doing it. No offence to Hayes Outdoors, who first put me on to looking at this tent. And also there's a Canadian YouTuber that I don't know. I can't remember the name of. My preference is to actually do it for real and talk about it rather than practice a few times. So the first time you saw me put that tent up was the first time I put that tent up. Right, shivering now. Bye. Right, good morning guys. The sun is starting to hit the tent. And I don't know whether you can see it here. I'll try and take some photos. The condensation has hit from the outside where the ice was has hit the inner, sorry, just up here, and then it's starting to drip down. There you go, you can see there a little bit better. Is there a bit of a problem? Well, I think it is, because I didn't go out that side, I went out that side. So yeah, and I think it might be the way that the tent is pitched. It's not perhaps as tight as it could be, but you know, first time you go out, you buy your tent, how many times are you supposed to put it up before you feel confident that it's going to be perfect pitch every time? And how confident are you that you can find the perfect pitch every time when you're out in the bush, the country, the hills, the mountains, wherever you're going to do it, and you're wild camping? So hopefully you can see me from that one. So what I'm going to do is take the tent down, outer first, poles, inner, ground sheet. I may have to faff about with some of the pegs just to peg the ground sheet down because it's a little bit windy here and there. You may also hear some aircraft noise. This is where the US Air Force and the RAF do low-level flying, so a lot of the echoes around the mountains are from that. First off, I'm going to zip it all back up again. There we go, and I'm going to undo the pegs. Let's have a think about this. Let's do this in a bit more logical manner. Right, so the pegs, because of the grey colour, I found them really hard to spot against the grass. So, interesting point there. Take that one out. That can go in the pocket. Take the guys out from this one. That can go in the pocket, and I'm glad I found that. Right, just undo those. That's it. Undo that. Undo that. That's loose. Undo that. Now I'm going to keep these attached just for the wind. There we go. And this is this like really ancient Velcro system. That's I've not seen that on £450 tents before, to be perfectly honest. There is condensation on the inner of the fly sheet here and on the top of the, sorry, on the, yeah, the inner of the fly sheet and on the top of the inner as well. So I'll just put the pegs in there. I'm not going to zip it up yet because what I want to do is turn it out inside out so I can get rid of any of the crap inside there, and then I can fold it away. Let's see if I can. Yep. You don't need to see me folding a Tyvek ground sheet, that's not part of the tent, so we'll move it. Pick the poles up, pegs up. There we go. Right. More Velcro. Unclip. Where are we? Unclip, unclip, unclip. Is that it? Whoops, that's one of the guys, my fault. There we go. This rather novel idea, this tension bar system. Not quite sure whether I like it. Whoops-a-daisy. Always interesting first thing real time, isn't it? Just put that back in. Yeah, so if you ever put this tent up, it goes upwards like that. Remember the V, it's to a V. It doesn't go down. Right, so poles down. That's out. And that's the poles done. The poles are very, very lightweight, I must admit. They seem a little bit lighter than the ones in the MSR. DSC Featherlight NFL green. That's obviously the green colour. So I'll put them in this, and I'm going to consider this as just a gimmick, this light bar thing that they use for it. Just make sure one end is done up so they don't fall out. I think if I keep this tent and I use it, I'm going to get rid of that plastic insert and not use it as a light bar at all. Okay, there we go. Right, time to take the tent pegs up. 1, 2. Get rid of my trash. Leave no trace. 3. 4. Sorry about the arse. 5. 6. Alright, there we go. And then just sort those tensioners out. So that's tensioner at one end. So when I put it on the next time it works. There we go. Right. Pegs away. I do have more pegs, remember, on the ground sheet. The bigger bag is for the inner, smaller bag for the outer. But what I'm going to do is turn the inner inside out to get rid of some of the crap. Now, if it's blowing a gale, hoofing it down, this is not something that I would actually do everyday camping. Because the weather's really quite nice, I can afford the time to do this. I would do it, however, as soon as I got back to a base camp anywhere else. If you look after the kit, just makes it that bit easier. There we go. Make sure you put it in the right way around when you put it in. Can I read sea to summit? Yes, I can. And I've got a snag. There we go. That's one side. We're out. Yep. Little snag. There we go. Now, remember I said on one of the earlier videos that the top part has got a mesh panel, and there's mesh panels that you can let go on the sides. I'm going to keep those open so it's easier to put into the bag. And in line with everything else for me, I'm not going to really think about folding it up. If you start folding things up in a constant way, you create lines and creases on the material, which ends up creating, you create lines and creases on the material, which ends up creating wear points, firm wear points. Whereas if you just scrunch it all up and put it in, all you end up doing is creating many, many more points of wear over a longer period of time. I know what I'm talking about. Might do a bit video explainer about that later. Right, so there we go. Oh, there we are. In you go, Badger. Very awkward in the rain. If I'm going to use this again, and I will, I'm sort of pondering overnight. I think it deserves a proper outing or two before I make my mind up. I'll use stuff sacks because that hole is just way too small. It's nice feature, sea to summit, crap execution. And to be honest, I think that would sum up my review so far. Lots and lots of nice features, but the execution just isn't quite there. Right, again, stuffology in action. And again, great execution with this fair share system from Sea to Summit. Sorry. And again, great idea for the fair share system from Sea to Summit. The bags are just too small. A stuff sack is so much easier to try and squeeze all of this down in. You know, imagine you're on the top of the Brecons, Cadair Idris, Snowdon, Scafell Pike, Nevis, whatever, you name it, blown a hoolie, pushing it down with rain. You want to get it in as quickly as you can, not sat in some fairly nice sunshine like I am here to try and squeeze it in. So there we go. Put that inside. And that is supposed to go something like that. And there's two little hook things on the side. Got to take that out because that's so tight. There we go. Two little hook things. Supposedly bring it all together. And there we go. That's the seat of Summit Alto 2 Plus in-field review. First time setting up, first time tearing down in the field, real conditions, slept in. I think it's got something going for it. It really does. It's got lots of little nice touches. The execution needs a little bit more work in my head though. Anyway, thanks a lot. Time to walk back down.